Welcome to Leadership Studio by ETEducation in association with Coursera. We are spotlighting advancing higher education from curriculum to careers. Join us today as we explore the ever-evolving landscape of education, and we will be highlighting the use of AI, of course, the adoption of online learning, the importance of industry micro-credentials, and how all of this is advancing us into better learners and teachers. Join us today as we welcome a very exciting panel that we've lined up for you. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for your time. I would love to make introductions now. I would love to welcome Dr. Achyut Dani, who's the Director General and Provost at JG University.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Dani. And you know Prashasti Rastogi, of course, Director at Coursera. Hi Prashasti, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
And we have Dr. Githa Heggde, who's the Dean of MICA. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time.
And pleasure.
Now, my question is to the educators on our panel first. What is the foremost trend that you have observed that's impacting education in a big way in the last few years?
So, when we talk about higher education, the biggest change which I have seen is awareness. Students have now become more aware about what they want to do in their life. It is not like that previously they used to believe that based on their percentage or based on their performance in their 12th board examination, they would go and select a stream. Now they are more conscious, they are more informed, and they are very clear about what they want to learn, what would interest them more, and what would make their career better for them. So they are aware and they are inquisitive also. And thanks to internet, thanks to the information available, that students are now seeking for a particular resource to make it better for their life and career. So this is what is a very important thing, and they are the consumers for the higher education industry. So the consumers have changed the way they look at the things. They have changed their demand, and accordingly the higher education systems are adapting to them. So this is the biggest thing which I have seen, which has changed over the last few years.
So you very rightly mentioned them as consumers. So at the provider side as well, I'm sure you are cognizant of this. And that's such a great answer, that the awareness of the student, that's an internal dissection, sir. That's amazing. Very refreshing answer from you. Doctor, how do you see this?
Yeah, so adding on to what Professor mentioned, I think the students have become very, the instant gratifications that they want, very well informed, and also they are very purposeful and they know what they are heading to. And of course, institutions, good institutions get the brightest of bright students. We also see tectonic shift that is happening with the institutions, especially with the government also the coming up with FDI in for foreign direct investment in education. Close by here, the Gift City has two major institutions from Australia that has come up and set their campus here. So I think it's like a dichotomy where there is a huge option available for the students, but yet I think the right option is something that we need to look at. There are 1,200 universities in India today, yet the gross enrollment ratio, as you know, is less than 30%, which means there are 70% out there who are still waiting to get into the best university. So I think these are a few thoughts that came into my mind, which I wanted to talk about.
Ma'am, you were talking about how do we make them industry ready. What do you think about online learning as a step towards this? Now a lot of universities are incorporating global online content and they're offering this via online courses. How do you see the impact of this?
I think online learning, to my mind, is an added advantage, and I think that's something the students can use as a stackable certificate that they get. But as educators, I do believe there is much more that the institutions need to do. And how do we work on industry academia association? So one of them, I think recently we are also there, if you've read the newspaper, every course also where the faculty would like to can associate with the industry and start creating course. There was a course that was introduced by our media and entertainment and sports business recently with a company that is WebEngage, and the course was on tectonic shift of customer technology, and also how you retain consumers on a web on a digital environment. So this course is co-curated by the industry and the faculty who is taking the course, and the workshops are done, and the real life problems of the institute of the corporate is given to the students in the classroom, and the new experiences, the new thoughts, the new learning and the new ideas what the students are giving is taken towards as a problem solving right from the classroom to the corporate itself. So I think the continuous learning and the continuous engagement is something that is needed with the company across as we go by.
MarTech itself is so new, and it's interesting that you're already offering that as a course with one of the leaders such as WebEngage, and these sort of micro-credentials from industries, and especially, we've all seen the sort of demand that these certificates have from Google, IBM or Meta. Students really do want to adopt them. As an educator, how do you view the growth of these micro-credentials?
So micro-credentials and micro-credits have become very important now. And thanks to the National Education Policy, which has opened all the ways this can be done. Mm-hmm. And the best part is that since the COVID time, there was a discussion about whether the offline education will be replaced by online education. Thankfully, the problem is solved. Now everybody has understood and realized that they are supposed to work together in sync to give better output and results. Mm-hmm. We are all here for students. They are the real stakeholders. And now there are opportunities available to them to learn through various mediums. Offline with the colleges and the university, and online with the online platforms which are providing them industry-specific skill-based learnings. And that is very much available to them now. And they are trying to take advantage of the same. The biggest part which was stopping the online education being totally accepted was they were non-credit programs. Fortunately, now they are credit programs. So students are also more inclined towards it. And that brings a lot of personalized learning, the flexibility of the time when they want to learn, the number of times they want to learn it, and then to upgrade themselves based on their previous assessment. So all these benefits have come in. So I look at micro-credentials and micro-credits is a big advantage to the student community.
Somebody who has not experienced the wealth of microcredits and this online learning in my college career, I do have a question about this, and I'll take that to Prashasti. How do microcredentials differ from like an actual course that would deal with the same subject? And what is the sort of growth of microcredentials that you are seeing?
I'll set the context first for you, Shilpa, since you asked me to explain that. I was listening to Dr. Githa Heggde, and she was talking about school of life, right? We are all enrolled in the school of life. At Coursera, we've extended to say that we are a lifelong learning ecosystem. And lifelong learning ecosystem is very essential right now because industry is changing so fast. We all need to rapidly upskill ourselves. And industry says that the skills for them are also changing very fast. And for them to get strategic growth, they need the right kind of skilled talent coming in. Over 100 industry partners came to us at Coursera, and we created micro-credentials. And these micro-credentials are stackable. They are obviously aligned to different job roles and different domains. And they are produced by the best SMEs at industry and certified by the industry themselves. What we also did was, as Dr. Dani was mentioning about acceptability of for-credit learning into the industry micro-credentials, we went and partnered with the validation bodies in different countries. American Council of Education validates these micro-credentials for credit in the US. European Credit Transfer System validates them for credit across Europe. In India, National Skill Qualification Framework has leveled them and validated them for credit. So for institutions, it becomes like a repository that they can include in their curriculum for credit. Because they are of different levels, students in different courses and different competencies can easily learn these, certify themselves and signal to the industry, hire me, I'm ready, right? And if you talk about the employers, we did a survey with the organizations that also train their employees on Coursera, and about 96% of the recruiters said that they would prefer a candidate who can signal job-aligned skills through the micro-credentials on their resume. Now, Sir talked about serving the customer, who's the student. 86% of the students in the survey responded saying, I would prefer to be enrolled in a university program that allows me to earn credits for micro-credentials and provides them as part of my degree. So the validation already exists. This is the scalability of industry-academia partnership, which is ever time, all time ready, updated, validated, as well as scalable, so that you can reach everybody.
That's so beautifully put. Ever time, all time ready. I think I missed out one, but you're the expert. We speak about all these advancements. Everything's going online. We're going to talk about AI. Now, what happens to the skill gap when it comes to faculty? Because students are out there, they know all the technology, the tech savvy, they've been using it already to do their homework and their assignments. So how do we address that skill gap between faculty when it comes to the adoption of this technology, especially given NEP's focus on faculty now?
Correct. So the National Education Policy, along with defining things for students, have also defined few things for the teachers also. Because giving a big window for the students to select multiple subjects, going for ability enhancement programs, multidisciplinary programs or skill value added programs, the same thing will be applicable to the teachers and faculty members also. And teachers and faculty members, and let me tell you, this is really something which I believe that for all the teachers and the faculty members, online education available for the skill set is a boon. Because they are busy working with the organization. They are investing between 6 to 8 hours every day with the organization where they work. And they have to study, they have to upskill themselves, reskill themselves, and for that, taking time out at their own convenience is possible only through online education or online support systems. No doubt there are faculty development programs happening, seminars happening, webinars happening, but an online platform which is absolutely curated for a particular purpose would add a lot of value. So what we do is we try and encourage our faculty members and teachers to take up these programs to enhance their skill set and bring it on themselves so that they can deliver it to the students. Sending the faculty members to the industry for internship is something which is being done by every university now. Curriculums have changed. Curriculums are changed by whom? The same faculty members, once they realize that something which they are teaching is redundant. We should not teach anything to the student which is not going to be used by him or her in her life or his or her life. So things are changing this way. So I wish that all the private education institutions, higher education institutions strive to bring this to the faculty members.
Yeah, that's so interesting, ma'am. Would you agree that the faculty are also very fast learners? I thought it would be the students who would be faster, but that's a great perspective that he's brought in. And also, how are you encouraging faculty to upskill themselves?
Okay. So, MICA, I do believe and I agree that there is a lot of opportunities that faculty are given to upskill themselves by many institutions. And I also agree with you that the faculty also learn and are willing to learn faster and also continuously. Interestingly, the older, sometimes you see, and I've seen in multiple institutions where as the faculty is older, they also adapt to technology much in a faster manner than the younger faculty sometimes, more often than not. In fact, the previous institution which I was there, where the Coursera courses, we had older faculty adapting to those courses and doing examinations and passing the examination. Coming back to MICA, MICA invests a lot on faculty members, and because we believe our faculty members are subject matter experts in their own areas, because I was talking about how the EdTech courses are run in MICA, and the module and the content is given by the MICA faculty. It is not content that we get from elsewhere, because we are experts in the space of marketing strategy, digital marketing, and communication. And in fact, there are edtech companies, they go about selling their own programs, saying that we partner with MICA. So I think to that extent, we've invested in the faculty members. We have a center which is called as Center for Learning and Innovative Pedagogy. Now, this center does a lot of work with the faculty members and how they improve the pedagogy. Continuously, videos are done where the faculty will talk about newer pedagogy and what they do. If you look up in the MICA website, you'll find faculty talking about what new things that they've done. Certain faculty members are telling about how they are creating storytelling to get the audiences understand and learn better. Through CLIP, we are also giving a faculty development program to other institutions as well. There is one institute, Symbiosis, has asked us to develop a program for them in AI and using AI in teaching and pedagogy. So there are multiple experiments that we are doing through our institutions for faculty development itself. Apart from that, the faculty chooses where and what they want to do in self-development, because as I told you, this institution has a highly empowered faculty deciding what they would want to do and how they want to go in their development. So there is a 1 month self-development time that we give to them, and a faculty has a fund which they also go internationally if they want, and work with international experts in their own area, do team teaching with the best in the institution, best in class institutions across the world. And there are faculty members who are doing team teaching with institutions like UT Austin and others. We give a huge impetus to research, because we are the knowledge creators and faculty are the knowledge creators. Thought leadership is something that we intensively work with the faculty to do. So they do create knowledge and thought leadership, and and then disseminate that thought in the space that they are looking at. Industry research that the industry uses is something that again we are working on. And international and the faculty travel they have, and the project that they would want to do, there's a huge fund that is given to the faculty members annually for their international travel, international conferences if they want to, and also work with for a certain project if they have to do. So multiple. These are some of the ones which I said, but a few of them, but there are multiple opportunities.
We always talk about holistic development of the students, but it's lovely to see that you offer that for the faculty as well, ma'am. And thank you for sharing that with us. Now we're entering the final frontier of our discussion and also of education, which is AI. It's very much here to stay. How are you witnessing the impact of AI? How are students using it on their end? And also, as educators, how do you expect it to personalize and customize education for the students?
So, as you clearly mentioned, and to which I think all of us would agree, that AI is here to stay. It is a very initial phase where AI is being used by all the stakeholders, but the use is increasing. It is increasing, and it would be much more as the time passed by. Students have been very much interested into artificial intelligence because it is solving few of their problems. We know how ChatGPT helps them. We know there are so many other AI tools which are helping them do their job in a better way in a shorter span. And we know we are dealing with Gen Z right now, right? So they want everything quicker and faster. But at the same time, while they are using it, they know how to use it. At the same time, I also believe that it is very essential for them to understand that how to ethically use the artificial intelligence and the tools available for the betterment of the society and for themselves. But AI is here to stay. It is impacting the way education is imparted, and it is also impacting the way assessments are also being carried out. We are also using a robust ERP system in which the assessments are automated with the use of the artificial intelligence. So things are coming up, students are inclined, faculty members are inclined, higher education institution is inclined, government is inclined, all other stakeholders are inclined, industry is inclined. So I believe that we are in the time where we will see a lot of growth in the use of AI and AI tools in the near future. And I think it is all going to build a great, I believe it will actually build some ecosystem which will deliver the desired results which we all are looking for.
Yes, optimization and optimized results for sure. Ma'am, would love to hear what you have to say about it.
So we also, in fact, one of the workshop that we did for faculty was called as what the students don't want the faculty to know in terms of AI and others, because they would love to use ChatGPT for everything and they would perhaps not wanting to know. But I think the faculty are smarter in terms of their experience, and so we do know the faculty we do allow them to use the technology the way they want. And also there are certain softwares which will like the Turnitin and others do have plagiarism check, where they can check the usage of artificial intelligence and generative AI by the students. But let me tell you, in MICA is known, we are an institution where the right and the left brain juxtapose, and we would like our students to be more creative and also use their analytical ability. And that's when MICA, while selecting the students itself, there is an examination which is MICAT, which they have to go through, even after going through the other examinations, that is CAT, ZAT and GMAT that we give, we allow them to come, the scores that we consider. But every student go through an examination which is compulsory, which is called as MICAT. In spite of doing the examination, our our application to admission ratio is less than 2%. Now, what does the MICAT assess? And the MICAT looks at their creative ability, communication ability, and how they can use their right brain to get the creative thoughts. And so that is why we say we are the school of ideas. And we still believe that the generative AI cannot generate creativity and the ideas the way a human mind can do. And I think that is the differentiation that we know that our students do have. So and that is why the industry also says put a MICA on it, because there's something different that comes out of them that the generative AI or AI doesn't do. And I think the industry also is finding out what AI can do and what is the benefit of AI. But we do believe that there is going to be, the technology is going to affect the work. But of course, there are areas where the human mind can do much more than the technology, and I think that is what we work on. And the thinking, the learning aspect is something that we are focusing.
Yes, we're all learning about AI. Now coming to learning with AI, at Coursera, you offer GenAI courses. You've been making advances in GenAI. Talk to us about it, Prashasti.
Yeah. World over, on the Coursera platform, generative AI has about more than 340 courses, and we've seen tremendous intake. In India, on Coursera platform last year, the last quarter of last year, we saw about 1 enrollment happen every minute. I'll give you current statistic. There are 4 enrollments are happening every minute into a generative AI course for Coursera in India. This is the hunger which is real. We can close our eyes, but this is the reality. Industry has put $4 billion as the productivity and efficiency gain just by implementing generative AI in the business processes. McKinsey says there's over 70% productivity gain with generative AI only in education. So generative AI is already deep-seated. It's something which has seen the most rapid adoption. When ChatGPT was launched, within a couple of days of its launch, it reached 12 million users. That was the rapid adoption. AI has always been there. Generative AI has commoditized it. And people are obviously using these algorithms to get productivity gains. So generative AI has 3 aspects very relevant to education. One is we all need to understand what it is and figure out the use that it can be for us. On Coursera, the co-founder, Dr. Andrew, and the expert, Dr. Julius White, who's the generative AI expert at Vanderbilt University, they came together and they have created a program called Generative AI for University Leaders. What are they attempting to do? They are attempting to educate the university leaders to understand what generative AI means, not only in terms of academic policy and how to put a creative purpose to education by allowing students to use generative AI, but also how faculty can deploy it, either by creating assisted learning. On Coursera platform, we call it Coursera Coach, AI tutor, all time available to students, or to scale up localization, globalization of content that is delivered to students with their own footprint, and also scale assessments and make them anytime and intuitive and skill-based, competency-based, using the generative AI technology. On Coursera platform, we call it Course Builder. And the third piece is reimagine the future of degrees. So there's an exercise in that particular program that allows faculty to give inputs. They are taught how to prompt, and it can create the future of a degree that they want to work with, and also produce poetry at the end of it. So creativity, preciseness, and futuristic approach, all of it just by writing few queries, which we can write in simple, plain English, I think super empowering.
Absolutely. I didn't know about this poetic license at all, but I learned something new every time I interact with you and panelists who are so esteemed and so interesting at the end of the day. Thank you so much for a very insightful discussion, all of you, and thank you for your valuable time. And thank you for joining us. And for more such enlightening conversations, remember to stay tuned to the Leadership Studio at ETEducation in association with Coursera.